Samuel Ministar. Hi YouTube, today we would be.
Hi, thanks for joining. Welcome everyone. Today. Hi, thanks for joining. Welcome everyone. Today. Hi, thanks for joining. We'll be working on Illustrator. So I made a clumsy mistake. This was supposed to be minimized, but instead I closed it. Stressful, so we just have to do it again. Please bear with me. This would help me view the live chats, see everything that's going on other platforms we have active. Other platforms we have active. Hi, welcome. Is it King Isiola? Sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrongly. I'm not good with names, but welcome. Sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrongly. I'm not good with names, but welcome. Sorry if I'm pronouncing the name I keep thinking adding music to the stream is not so nice, but the problem is I like working better with music. So we are still gonna add the music anyways, right? Why I opened this was to mute it up so I can either close or minimize this. I think minimize is better. Okay. Also pause it so it's not like draining our resources.
It was an untraditional move from an untraditional campaign, intended.
Hi, welcome Black A. Thanks for joining the stream. So today we're working on Illustrator, and this is all we have so far. Alright, we're designing this, but now I just noticed that this is missing from like the previous design, so I would have to like pull that over. I think it was locked down here. Well, before then, if you just join in, I want to know if you could kindly introduce yourself on the stream. If you could introduce yourself on the stream, just leave a comment. And I just want to know who's like joining, where you're joining from. If you use Illustrator, I want to know too, and what you use it for. I have to get better at setting up as well, because yeah. This is so you guys can simply hear me better. Hi everyone. Alright, I think I'm audible. Okay, great. So back to the design. I want to come back to this page. And so what I'm looking for right now is, if you look inside, you're going to see this like rough paper effect going along. So the problem we're having right here is this graphics is done, right? But what the customer wants right now is, they say it's too busy. There's a lot of stuff going around the design and they want it to be reduced. So making like a more concise version of it that just shows, like 4 things each, and then they can like go on to have multiple pages instead of just one design showing everything. Can have like multiple designs. So now they're going for 3 designs with different texts. So this are 3 designs initially done, but with different images, right? But the text is exactly the same. But now we want to do 3 designs with obviously 3 images, but 3 distinct texts as well. It's very simple. We've done most of the work already, so it's not, we're not doing much anymore. What I want to do now is to go and, copy out all the text that we'll be adding to it. And we're adding it to our notepad here. I don't know if we'll have any AI fans here. If you're an AI fan, like if you love AI, if you like all the stuff that are being created with it, please leave a message in the comments. I want to know what you're doing with it, how you're making use of it, and all of that stuff. So I think I already have a notepad. But apparently this one wants to join us outside, so we're just going to pull it out. It doesn't come out that way. close this. All right. So this is my immediate notepad. This is where I'll be keeping everything that I'll be using in the and yeah. So let's go on to copy all the stuff we'll be needing, which is all of this stuff. I don't know, is my screen visible when like I switch screens? Like do you see the switch? I have a feeling that that's not what's happening, but even if that's the case, we could always solve the problem if it's like an actual problem. Okay. Okay, so we have 4. Next up is like the next 4, which is I think the first one I stopped here, 300 benefits. So now we're going to go with this ongoing root project by the Presidente. So ongoing projects, we have 400, and now I'm just going to come here and start taking out all of this. For those that are wondering how I managed to call the text, that's pretty easy. But before I do that, I want to get a copy of this so I don't like come back to it again. And I have a specific style of always making the numbers a different color, because it makes it like a little more readable. That way they know, okay, this is a number, or maybe this is the exact value. It's always very rewarding to do it that way. So it helps the user assimilate whatever they're reading quicker if you show hierarchy with color sizing. So today we're showing hierarchy with sizing, with color. To do the curve, you just need to, in Illustrator, there's this warp tool, make an envelope. By the time you click on it, you would see like extra options, but just clicking on it should give effect slope here, but it's not what I'm getting right now. So I'm just gonna make this 40 maybe and see what happens. Put it down again. Okay, still ways to go. So 35 this time, and I think we'll have it. So now we're just like bringing it down. So the essence of this live session is just to show you how I use Illustrator. Illustrator is a very complicated tool sometimes, and I was once, I had the privilege to test Illustrator on the web. Illustrator web is a new kind of Illustrator that is coming, but it should be available right now. I tested it a while back, but it's solely on the web, right? It does everything. You can't say everything. So most of the stuff the Illustrator app does, but it's all on the web, right? So I'm trying to pick up my yep. I don't like the way Edge is sometimes, because they tend to change the names of this. So favorites, I'm used to bookmarks. So why should I like be looking for favorites this time? All right. So we're just trying to check out Illustrator on the web. So I could show you that they're literally similar. There's really no difference between the two of them. So it's opening up. I know I do have a few projects there, but this is not when I tested it, it was on beta. Yeah, you could see it clearly like indicated here. So it was on beta at the time I looked at it, and it's still on beta, but there are still like a few there are like updates here. You can see that there are updates here now, and it wasn't always like this but I should have access to this, so I'm just gonna log right in. They would need to send you like an OTP if you have factor authentication turned on yours, but if you don't, it's just gonna log right in, and then you should be able to access your project files. So these are all the stuff I've created here so far, and as you can see, it's a very, very wonderful tool to use. So in case you don't have Illustrator installed in your PC, this is the one to go for. It is really intuitive, and yeah, you could literally do everything you would usually do on a separate tool like Illustrator on desktop with it. So that's enough of that. Going back to Illustrator on the web, we still have this 400 and ongoing projects. We're gonna close that. Close this. So now I'm like experiencing a little lag between I don't know, I'm gonna minimize this so it doesn't like get in my way again. And at this point I'm just trying to put things into like an organized space so I could continue with what I was doing. Next up is this was the last one I did. So GDP growth more than doubled. So this particular GDP growth, I have it here. Okay. So increase in government revenue more than doubled, right? GDP growth. So we could take this, but I don't know. GDP growth. So let's put X2 here, just to show that, okay, this was like the exact, like this is exactly by how much the GDP grew, right? So that's the idea of it. And then to rotate on Illustrator, you need to press the R, as the R2 you need to press the R on your keyboard, or you see like the rotation tool up here, you see it still says R. I'm pretty used to using shortcuts by now because for me it just makes things a bit faster, and I wouldn't always have to, it takes me some time to locate this options on the menu, but just knowing the shortcut sometimes just help. So this is on the vertical axis right now, since it was already rotated to 90 degrees. So now we just need to make this minus. Since it's bending inwards, adding a minus in front of it should give us the exact same number. Perfect. And now we're going to increase this so it can fully occupy this space. What the customer wants is for they to see everything easily, right? And easily, don't forget, numbers get like the special treatment always, so let's not forget that. Next up is out here security part that is okay. So security part that has, so this statement is not, I'm not feeling it grammatically right now. So security pack that is 950 terrorists like eliminated. So we could put that has here, has, and then remove this that has eliminated So we haven't really changed the we haven't really changed the sentence. All we did was relocate a word and change like a single what's it called, a single word there, which was just like a 2-letter word. Is yep, it doesn't feel longer, so I'm just gonna fold this in like that and like this. What is this? Sora. So we are not using Sora, so we always need to check that we have like the right like that, we'll have the right font selected, especially when, so let's not forget this as well. Okay, so I'm taking this now. I'm gonna do this like this and then make a copy of it. So I'm making a copy by holding Alt. So Alt on your keyboard, or Alt on Windows, or Options on Mac. So I'm simply just holding Alt or Options and dragging. So clicking and dragging. Alt, Option, or Option, and then click and drag. It's very straightforward. So now this, I think I want to bend it inside so it feels like, you know, it's still like easily readable. Okay, so with that I can still like same process we have been doing so far. Switch this to the horizontal axis, leave it at, I think the last one that we curved at the top was 35, right? So I want to try that again and then increase the size so that it's, you know, it fits really well inside. Okay, so I'm looking, so I still have to like go back and put in 45, so it like curves up a little more, and then we're able to, perfect. So you see this line, like this, the space across it, it feels a little more consistent, and that's what we're going for when you're making a design. It's not really the design that is fine, it's how easily it is for, or how easy it is for the customer or the person that is looking at that design to understand it. And that's mostly just comes from coherent arrangement, consistency, and all of that simple stuff. So really anyone can be a great designer if they just have a consistent design going across all of their graphics. So I'm going to copy the last one, which is this one. So 3 was not. So I think this is also redundant because there's already GDP growth up here, right? There is GDP growth up here. So why have it again? Is what I'm thinking right now. But there's really no need. Let's not, I forgot just now to rotate with like the rotation tool. On Illustrator, if you try rotating with anything other than the rotation tool, it wouldn't work well. So you might be able to rotate triangles and like other shapes, but when it comes to text, it will start, like it always does this, it will start to stress you. So just get into the habit of using the rotation tool as soon as possible. That would save you a lot of time. So this, and now we just need to update this to a plus instead. And perfect. So you see, if you do get the whole process of how Illustrator works, then using it is very easy. For anyone, using it is very easy. You just need to know, okay, this is what this does, this is what this does, and then plan for how to use them with the way they already work. So I was looking at that just now, and it didn't look right. It didn't look right at all. So I made the mistake again. Trying to rotate with the move tool instead instead of the rotation tool. So now I'm just trying to rotate it very well, and doing so would help me get it properly aligned. Looking at it again and do it again. Warp. I think I want to curve it a little more this time, so let's do the 45 and see what happens. Okay, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So 45 is not working. 35 didn't work either. So let's do 25. All right, I think I see a better angle on this one. So, yep, this is better. In case you're wondering how I'm able to know where the position of the text is, to be honest, I don't know. I'm just trying to look into it and then check it. I want to check if we have anybody on TikTok right now. Hi, welcome Blue John. Hi Courage, Blue John joined. Wheezy here, welcome Wheezy. How's it going? Back to what we have going on. Okay, so also I want to know, what do you guys think about these live sessions? Do we continue it, going live and just talking about design, or just maybe working on the designs on live? Because if I have to separate the coming on live time and the time I make designs, it won't work as well. But if I'm able to come on live when I'm doing those designs, then it just makes a whole lot of sense for me to continue with it, is all I'm saying. Okay, I see why that was looking weird for me initially. So this was looking weird because it's a different font. Yeah, it's a very different font. Doesn't look so terrible. The font is still the one we're using inside the design, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. Next up, I want to change this image here. I want to change this image. So how it's closed inside there, it's clipped. We're using clipping max to clip it inside that location there. So I've used that one. I want to use this one next, which is this. But you gotta be careful so you don't over click on it and ruin something. Okay. So I'm going to go back by 1. So what I'm doing now, you say go back by 1 level. If I click on this, I go back by 1 level. You see, it just it goes back inside of the clipping max. So before I was inside the clipping max, and all I did was to double click on it. If you double click, you click, eventually you enter inside the clipping max. And then I just wanted to see how this looks without having to come out to the end again. I just want to place this properly so it looks great. Yeah, I think Baba is looking very fine. Looking with all the swagger he has. Alright, this is good. Next up, I want to do a third one because originally we had 16 here, right? So I want to do a third one, but before I go on to start, so this says student loan graduation scheme. I had icons for those before, so I'm just going to pick the one I had for students. Cut, paste. So why I did cut it was to bring it to the top, right? There's another way to do that. I'll be showing that now. So graduation, potential loan, be residential loans and grant schemes. Loans and grants, loans and grants, loans and grants, loans and grants. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything that would help me showcase that. Okay,